everyone. Dive into Anchor Together, a captivating YouTube series that offers an intimate look into the extraordinary lives of seafarers and their families.
From long-standing maritime partnerships to new connections formed at sea, Anchored Together highlights the incredible journeys of those who navigate both the ocean and the relationships with passion and resilience. Get ready for an engaging twist with Anchored Together. Hi viewers, today with us at Anchor Together we have these two wonderful personalities from the commercial domain of shipping as against the technical or the ship manning domain, which are equally important, but sometimes we need to look at where the money comes, where the business comes into shipping. So these two gentlemen are going to tell us a lot about how their careers have moved in the business world of shipping and how business itself has moved in shipping. So we will start with Mr. C.K. Sharma. Sir, a brief introduction, a little bit about yourself.
To start with, I'm a 73-year-old man, born in Delhi, and spent all my life, professional life, in Bombay, and spent shipping career from 1981, January 1981 till now. And what more I should say? I have been doing commercial shipping all through, and my son, my only son, is also in shipping. Although he has been a sailor earlier, but he's a commercial shipping man in operations settled in Dubai. Thank you.
Sir, we will get more details from you as we go ahead. I'll like Bansi to say a few words about himself.
Thank you, sir, for having both of us here today. I'm 83 years and I started my career as a liner broker, then got into ship chartering business, and by default, I would say. I'm a chemistry physics student from St. Xavier's College. The option at that point of time when I finished college was, what will you do? Take up a job?
Just about.
What will you earn? This is 62 I'm talking about. What will you earn? 350, 400 rupees? 500 rupees at best?
That's true.
Can you maintain your family when you decide to start a family with that kind of salary?
Hardly.
My first reaction was impossible. Mm-hmm. So why don't you go and help your father? So I'm the third generation in shipping. My father was the second one. And I worked for 54 years as a shipbroker. And I decided to hang my boots. So here I am.
Here is Mr. Bansi talking about his life and his career. And he started out as a shipbroker within his own family. Sir, how did you get connected with shipping?
Oh, well, that's a wonderful question. I did MBA in 1973 from FMS Delhi. I got seventh position in the university, and I was told, I checked with many people, what should I do? That time MBA was a little unusual. People will ask me, why don't you tell properly, भैया BA किया है कि MA किया है?
MBA क्या होता है? हाँ.
MBA क्या होता है? So I had to explain to many people what is MBA. That is the time, 71 to 73, I did MBA. Then after I did MBA, I contacted many industry people. I got a job suddenly in Indian Oil Corporation. I was there for 5.5 years. I was not happy that time, not because Indian Oil is a bad corporation or I didn't learn enough, but because I was in operations and I was posted in Siliguri, Barauni, Dimapur, and I was scared that I'll be posted anywhere else in the eastern region.
It's all, yes, in the northeast. Northeast of the
Northeast.
I think the oil was only over there.
हाँ वहीं होता है. I was very worried for two reasons. Number one, my son was born in Barauni, and I didn't want him. Every 2 years I'm posted somewhere else. He will learn a new language every 2 years, and it will be like hell for him to go high in life,
Yes.
in career. And my wife had done MSc and B.Ed. I didn't want her to just spend the time of her life without teaching, which she liked. So I said, no, I must find another job. So when I looked for job, I got an opportunity in Shipping Corporation of India. I was called and I had a difficult interview. HR chief asked me, Mr. Sharma, what do you know about shipping? I was a little rough guy. I told him nothing. He was angry. He told the joint managing director, Mr. Jaising, you talk to him. So in his mind, he has rejected me. So J.C. Sheth, the joint managing director at that time, asked me a few questions. Mr. Sharma, do you know about oil? And I said, yes, sir. Then I told him several things he asked about oil, which I was surprised. And when I told him, and ultimately, he said, we'll let you know. I
What
said,
was SCI in the oil trade then?
no.
There are no oil trade.
It had oil tankers.
Oil tankers.
Lot of oil tankers, and SCI wanted to penetrate into oil industry by doing by nominating a person in OCC, that is Oil Coordination Committee, which used to control the movement of tankers in the country. They didn't tell me that. But 2 months later, I got an appointment letter by normal post. And then that was all. I resigned in Indian Oil, and 1st January 1981, my career in shipping started, which is continuing till today.
So you went from one PSU to another PSU.
Yes.
But of course, this was shipping and a totally different world.
Very different world. 3 years I did operations, and 1983 I was transferred to OCC. By first of all, the OCC chief at that time told Mr. Sheth, sir, how can I take a shipping man in OCC. It has to be oil industry man. And he was smart. Sir, he worked 5.5 years in OCC, and I have taken him. You talk to him. He called me from Delhi. I don't know, Sardar ji the. He talked to me a few things about oil operations. I answered quickly. He approved. So 83 to 87, I worked as commercial man in charge of oil tankers in OCC at Bombay. It was a very tough job. There were 23 locations where ships were loaded and unloaded, and I had to deal with all the oil refineries, right from Haldia refinery up to Chennai Madras Refinery Limited. It was not easy.
Can imagine, yes.
And I remember those days as very difficult and very good days. My bosses in OCC were very happy with me. Indian Oil, old-timer Indian Oil, the person who retired as chairman, Mr. M.S. Ramchandran, he was the GM in Indian Oil Bombay. He used to call me and talk to me. Where did you learn all this, CK? And I had a very easy answer for such difficult question in my life. Sir, God taught me. And the questions end thereafter.
Sir,
Thank you.
between the two of you, you have had immense experience and knowledge of the charter's desk, the shipping company's desk, and the shipbroker's desk. So, Bansi, you tell us what makes the relationship between a shipbroker and the charterer, either way, the shipping or the charterer, what makes that relationship tick?
Interesting question, particularly for the younger generations, I would say. Firstly, you must know your subject if you are a shipbroker and you're working for a charterer. Secondly, you have to be honest to your job. Shipbroking doesn't mean that you must put every business piece of together just because you're going to earn commission. I'll give you a very small example here. I worked with Shipping Corporation very closely with Mr. H.P. Monkar, you might remember.
Yes, yes.
Um,
He was the BNT head. I
Correct,
think.
correct. And they had a fleet of these combination carriers, old bulk oil carriers.
Yes.
Abul Kalam Azad,
Quite complex ships.
Valathol,
Yes. Valathol.
Vallabhai
Yes.
Patel.
Yes.
There was a fleet of 4 ships. Now these ships, being combination carriers, they were trading oil on one leg and bringing back food grain on the other leg.
Oh.
So basically it was a transatlantic operation, and it obviously required 3 days of cleaning period from oil to dry.
And that's a very difficult cleaning.
It
To
is,
go
it is,
from
it
oil
is,
to
it is.
grain.
The grain houses in America, particularly Dreyfus, Bunge, Cargill, they would not accept your ship if it was not certified by their surveyor that she is clean to load grain
Yes.
in the Mississippi River.
Yes.
So, and working with the American market, American controlled business, the grain houses, you obviously had to work long hours. So
Or long hours and odd hours together.
long hours became, because it was odd hours, it became long hours.
Yes.
Right up to sort of early morning here and evening in New York. So I had an experience where we were negotiating one of these SCI ships with a grain house. I think it was Cargill. At 4 o'clock in the morning, Mr. Monkar is asking me, what should we do? That's the freight charter is stuck on. What should we do? I said, sir, decline. I'm a shipbroker. I could have said, confirm. This was Friday night, Saturday early morning here. I said, confirm. I said, no, sir, decline. So 4 o'clock we decline. It's 5:30 in New York. At 7 o'clock he calls me back, which was already 8:30 p.m. on Friday night. Do you think we have taken a right decision? I said, sir, I could have told you yes at 4 o'clock in the morning and said, I want that commission. But now that you're asking me, my answer to you is, no, that was not a good decision. He said, explain to me why. I said, you are earning a freight of about $1 million on this voyage. And the difference on which we broke off was $3,000. Now, you tell me, for saving $3,000 for shipping corporation, what medal are you going to get? What promotion are you going to get? Who in shipping corporation will know that you lost $3,000? He said, nobody. I said, so now I can tell you that I think we should take that business. And it's already 8:30 p.m. New York on Friday.
Yes.
The world is closed.
So he says, no, call up your associate and we want to confirm the business. I pick up the phone those days. Mobile phones were not there. We want that business. He said, sorry, Bansi, but Cargill has already transferred the authority to fix a ship for this particular cargo to their Tokyo office because Tokyo is ahead. So he said, no, tell them to withdraw the authority from their Tokyo office, get the authority back in New York to confirm the fixture. And it went through. We confirmed the fixture.
Yes. So I think working together with your ship owners, your advice to them has to be a very constant feature. You cannot take a decision and say, okay, now I'll let it rest. Hand holding is...
Kamal sir, it was not just constant information to know where your competition is. Because in Mississippi River, you are given a loading berth at the terminal to load grain according to your ETA.
Right.
Apart from what was your last cargo. If you were clean enough, what is your ETA at the terminal of loading? Now, our responsibility or my responsibility was then to keep track of what are the other ships in that vicinity and what is their ETA basis Mississippi River. Where do we have the competition? What was the last cargo of that ship?
Yes.
Is she going to be clean enough? Is she before us in the queue at the terminal or is she behind us? These are small factors which we have to monitor.
Can I intervene, sir?
Of course,
the
of course.
same thing, similar thing I'll get forward. I was doing tanker chartering in Shipping Corporation of India. One of our ships, 54,000 tonners, it had just started from Haldia and was going to Black Sea to pick up oil for Indian Oil Corporation, which was an easy confirmed voyage. When that time that Iraq and Kuwait war started, not all the ships could go to Persian Gulf. So Mark Rich was the company. Their representative in India called me, Mr. Sharma, Mark Rich needs this cargo and needs your ship. Can you give it to us for some time, 5-6 days, they have to pick up a cargo from Bahrain and take it to another Persian Gulf country only. America named the country. He says, sir, it will go to Iraq. They need it desperately. It is diesel oil. I said, okay, I'll give you. How, if there is a delay at load port, then you have to pay 4 times the demurrage. Sir, the cargo is lying there. It will be loaded on arrival, just don't worry. I'm like, okay, it will cost you $360,000. That time the demurrage was about $10,000. The broker, which was Mahendra Reshamwala was the broker. Now I remember. He said, sir, it's a 5-day, 6-day voyage. You are asking $360,000. It's too much. Mahendra Bhai, for you it is $350,000. Open only for 1 hour. You make up your mind. My ship is going to Persian Gulf. It will reach the diversion point tomorrow at 12 noon, India time. He said, okay. Mark Rich answered, will not do shipping corporation's business. Let go. Look for another ship. He conveyed to me. I said, Mahendra Bhai, take it easy, they will come back. He says, CK, how do you know they will come back? America, all the ships in Persian Gulf, I have checked availability. There is not one ship which can go to Bahrain and Iraq both. They have no choice but to come back to me. Only politely tell them, if they do not accept $360,000, it will be $400,000 tomorrow. Let them make up their mind. So, with an abuse, they refused. Mahendra Bhai said, Sharma ji, you lost the business. Mahendra Bhai, take it easy, we'll talk tomorrow. Don't call me before 12 noon. So he called me at 11 o'clock in the morning. Mahendra Bhai, what is the reason? He says, sir, he is not sleeping in London. It is 4 o'clock in the morning. He says, please confirm with Mr. Sharma at $360,000. Mahendra Bhai, it is 400 now.
Too bad.
He said, Sharma ji, I fold your hands before you. Don't be nasty. Kindly accept your last offer. Okay, accepted. Sir, can I fix it clean? Have you got it approved from PK Srivastav ji, who was the joint MD that time? I will convince PK Srivastav ji, that's not your problem. I hereby fix clean at $360,000. In next 1 hour, I want the clean fixture recap. It came. In the morning, 10 o'clock, I went to PK Srivastav ji. He says, CK, what have you done? This ship is going for Indian Oil cargo. Manka, sir, Indian Oil has given us 10-day laycan. We are already 2 days before the laycan. It means I have got 12 days to reach Black Sea. I will finish this voyage in 6 to 7 days and be back at the point where I left. You've done this calculation? Yes, sir, I have. You check with Thomas George. He has helped me to calculate. So he called Thomas George while I was sitting. I had already told Thomas George that boss will call you, be ready with the answers. So he said, CK, you are putting me to a risk. Indian Oil will kill me. I mean, sir, if this is a profit for the country, and if Indian Oil puts you to distress, tell them that CK Sharma refused my order. I will take care of the rest. CK, take it easy. I will take care of the rest. You go ahead, you have my approval. And that ship $360,000 less 20,000 of crude oil, oil we consumed,
Bunker.
bunkers. Rest was the net income to shipping corporation because Indian Oil cannot get ask for it because Indian Oil's lake can be met.
And PK came from Indian Oil.
Sorry,
PK came from Indian Oil.
this I knew.
Yes, he was general manager in Indian Oil
I didn't know, but
before he came to
was
shipping corporation.
that incident. I still remember. My God, I took a decision which was so difficult to make.
Yes. And came out looking very nice.
It was during the war, Kuwait and Iraq war.
Yes.
So please go ahead.
Interesting.
Such things get connected.
Yes. And they're very interesting. And of course, there's a lesson in all this.
Yes.
That when we, for example, you are tracking all the ships around, so you know exactly what is available to the charterer.
Yes.
And that I think is one of the big keys to getting your business right and making profit at the right moment.
And it's something that books don't teach you.
Books don't teach you. Books have really, that's chartering practice then.
Yes.
Yeah. So, sir, what are the keys you would say to a commercially successful voyage? Doing the getting the contract is the start of it, but at the end of it, it does happen that eventually you didn't make the money that you thought you were going to make in the voyage, or the money that was put on paper that the voyage would make. So, what would you say is getting your money right and making probably a little extra? I don't know how, but we'd like to hear from you. Let's start with Bansi.
It's very important when you do a fixture. You know the parameters that control the voyage. Example to start with is loading port. What is the berthing delay going to be there? If you're misguided there by an agent, your whole calculation can go topsy-turvy. Loading rate, if what is guaranteed and is not achieved, let's say it's offshore loading, not alongside but offshore loading. If the barges are not there, the loading rate cannot be guaranteed. So your performance will suffer there. Going on the sea passage is fine. It's because it's under your control as a ship owner, and the same situation applies at the unloading port. Calculation of demurrage dispatch often leads to disputes, and you will know this better.
Yes, I know.
It's something which has to be clearly spelled out, and how do you guarantee the payment of demurrage or dispatch? You obviously have to have a sound partner in the business. Not somebody will say, okay, we'll settle the demurrage later, and it doesn't come through. Then you head into litigation. These are factors that one has to keep in mind even when executing a charter between an owner and a charterer. Obviously, you got to find a reliable ship owner. So I was in the office of a very large Greek ship owner in Greece with my very important client, which was Sesagoa. And Sesagoa managing director is asking him, can we have your company's profile or your business card? And this Greek ship owner, in my presence, people know us because of what we do in the business, in the market, not because what my business card would say or my company's pamphlet or brochure would say. So that's enough for you to be sitting in my office because you want to do business with us, and you've been brought by a reputed shipbroker whom we know, and you are considered to be one of the largest iron ore exporter from Goa, from India. So we'd like to do business with you. This was a time when this Greek ship owner had spent $1 million only on software for his office, for his ships, to know where his ship is, who's the master on board the ship, Does he have a spare propeller or no? How much fuel he has today? What spares he has? What he will need at the next port? He spent in those days $1 million, a big sum of money.
Yes. Yes. I can
But he
imagine.
kept a track of his fleet.
Very good.
So, anything you would like to add? What makes the voyage a commercially successful one?
I've never worked as a broker, but I have worked as an owner and charterer. Beautiful part is that in ship owner's mind and in charter's mind, success of a voyage is very different. For a ship owner, a voyage is successful when the voyage is completed and there is no problem in getting next voyage.
Yes.
That is critically important, especially in chemical tankers, where I used to work in Norwegian gas carriers. That what is the next voyage I'll do after completing this? By keeping this in mind, I was head of Asia Commercial in 1997-98. That time, somebody complained to the chairman, Mr. Sharma will ruin the company. He is giving out ships at lower than the market rate. So chairman called me, CK, people are complaining against you. Manga, sir, let 2 voyages complete and then we will talk. But since you called, you must know one thing. This voyage is ending at this port and I have a loading from the same port back to Persian Gulf where we have the next cargo. So our both voyages together will flood the money to the company. He said, CK, go ahead. And after 1 year of Asia operations, we earned in Norwegian gas carriers more money per unit deadweight. That's how we used. I had 6 ships. Per unit deadweight, we earned more money than the Norway office, which was working for 25 years. Norwegian gas carriers chairman called me to Oslo and said, CK, you take a lecture for everybody. I was a young man.
Interesting.
And they were old, experienced people. Only as a ship owner, don't think the rate I have hired my ship out at this much charter. No. What will you do thereafter is equally important. This is not taught in any class.
Yes.
Let me tell you. That's what I teach at
Yes.
times now.
Yes.
As a charterer, what the ship will do does not really matter. The ship will reach the load port in time and the shipper will load it in time. Have a close relation with the load port and the shipper before you fix the leaken. I have seen that lot of charters fix a COA for a long time. You have seen that. I never, as a charter in OCC, in OPG I was for 10 years. I never fixed more than 2 voyages COA. And second voyage COA, I used to keep the leaken variable. And I will do only with the operators, not with the ship owner. Because ship owner has a fixed voyage plan. He will last minute put me to distress. Sir, you agreed this leaken, you have to accept.
Yes.
But the load port shipper may say, Mr. Sharma, we are little delayed. Can you please bring your ship 10 days later? With a COA, with a ship owner, it will never work. With an operator, it will work.
Yes, he'll have options.
He has options.
Yes.
But one has to be very careful which operator you choose. Because I've seen in my career operators working on 50-cent margin.
Yes.
50 cents.
Yes, that's the
I
big
said,
risk.
how do you know how the oil prices are going to move?
I will work only with an operator who will agree for this last minute change. I said, don't you fix the ship till I give you the clearance. Wait.
It's also important for both of us is to have market intelligence.
Extreme.
Where are the markets strong? Where are the markets weak? Where do I need to position my ship for the next employment?
Yes.
This is where market
Yes,
intelligence.
sir, it is. It's extremely important. People who are into day-to-day business as a charterer, they do not go into this depth. That's my problem when I tell people, they do not know. The charterers, I have met one charterer, it is not proper to give the name. He is a billionaire in Bombay, just to let you know. He met me in SBI chairman's office. I was working that time for OPG. He told me, Mr. Sharma, what are you doing in SBI chairman's office? I have come with my chairman. What do you do in that company? Sir, I hire ships, dry cargo ships. He said, but they hire only 4 or 5 ships in a month. You are such a capable man who can hire 20 ships in a month. Why are you working for such a small company? I said, sir, since you know me well, I work in that company because I get full salary what I want. So I have no complaint. Secondly, I get time and I teach commercial shipping in the time which I get. He asked me a question which I have not forgotten till today. Mr. Sharma, what is there to teach in shipping commercial? I said, sir, it will take 10 years to tell you. He said, but I will not leave you with the question. May I give you one small example? He said, yes, please do, CK, you are welcome. I told him, sir, have you seen a bill of lading? Oh, CK, it comes to my table every alternate day. What is there to see in a bill of lading? Sir, do you know that the page you sign for bill of lading is the page 2, is not the first page? He says, what? First page in the back, which you never see. This is what is there to learn in commercial shipping. He said, my goodness, how many people in my company know this? I smiled and said, sir, that you have to find out. Why ask me? So then ultimately I took a 2-day lecture on his request for his company. Sir, thank you.
This brings me to a point. Just 2 seconds. You're talking about bill of lading. I talk about charter parties, right? When I entered the business, we went through every line, full stop, comma of every clause of the charter party.
Yes.
For our own knowledge, for our own benefit to understand what is the meaning of this contract. But over the years, because people work under pressure, time-wise, all other terms as per charter party did it so and so. Full stop. What are the mistakes in that charter party? Nobody's bothered. What are the areas in which that charter party could have been improved? Nobody bothers. That's the sad part.
But then later there would be a price to pay for all these things.
Absolutely. But this is where your knowledge and expertise and honesty in service is prime.
But this could be, Bansi, because the owners or charterers, they themselves stopped giving as much attention to these things. They were more interested in doing the business than looking at the the fine print, or so they would pressurize their people to skip this, never mind.
Go and confirm the business.
Yes, just
I
do
agree
the
with you.
business,
I agree
and
with
that killed I
I
think
agree
the
with
whole
you.
acumen there that was involved.
I agree with you totally.
Yes, yes. So
Time. Time
yes.
is the factor.
Yes.
People want to get their work done fast without going into micro details,
Yes.
which is so important for a contract. One contract I wanted to do as a ship owner, sorry, as a ship charterer, I wanted to fix a ship, and the ship owner was an Indian, not Shipping Corporation, Great Eastern, let me tell you the name, no harm. Great Eastern Shipping was the ship owner, and he said, you have to do our contract, our draft. So Delhi broker, gave me, I said, everything I will agree, but this comma, you have to put a full stop. I will not accept comma here. He went back, and Great Eastern chartering manager said, 20 owners have signed, let Mr. Sharma
Go to it.
not bother, take somebody else's ship, we will not give. He called again, sir, please explain what is the difference, is comma and full stop. मैंने कहा, come to me in Bombay, I will explain. So that broker from Delhi took a flight, came to me. I explained, do you realize this comma and full stop has $10 million impact on us? He said, oh my God, sir, I will not go back to Delhi till I meet the highest authority in Great Eastern and explain to them what is wrong. He went, and from there he said, sir, they have agreed. We have a contract, America, then fix the ship. Sometimes
Yes.
people don't go into depth because nobody has told them. Chartering managers do not take chartering lessons. This is
Yes, and the legalities involved, they don't
Yes.
understand that, because everything is the whole every expression there is going to be connected to money,
yes.
and it will have an impact at some stage. So English grammar and punctuation is also very critical.
Oops,
Getting
yes.
your language right is very very.
No, what it meant was that if you put a comma, that liability continued for the full sentence.
Yes.
And the insurance which I have done for my loading of cargo at the unloading cargo at discharge port in Chennai, I want that to be covered if it is a full stop. Otherwise, my liability is not covered.
Yes.
And it was up to $10 million. That risk I cannot give to my company because I want to fix the ship quickly.
Yes. Sir, let's quickly move to who have been the influential people in your life? Professionally?
I owe a lot of gratitude to my early stages as a shipbroker. When I started in Transshut. Because prior to that, a lot of cargoes were privately controlled by the exporters. So they were free to charter till the government decided to take over those cargoes. For example, fertilizers, iron ore, manganese ore, ferromanganese, scrap cargoes. That's what actually brought me into chartering, because my father had clients who had small parcels, not necessarily full shipload, but 5,000 tons, 7,000 tons of scrap, for example. I'm just giving an example.
Ji.
He said, you better take over this side of the business. You've done enough of the liner business. So, going back to your question, Kamal Saab.
The people.
The people who have influenced me in my upbringing in the chartering field, or two names I can very distinctly remember was Mr. Praveen Mehta, you might know, P.I. Mehta, he was popularly called. Then was Mr. Sharad Sathe, also from Shipping Corporation. And to a degree, Mr. Jaising Jala, again, 3 Shipping Corporation people. Apart from that, of course, my father, who taught me the values of honesty and efficiency, promptness, and delivering the goods that you promised your client.
So, CK Sahab, tell us about some of the people who have inspired you professionally.
Okay. In my mind, immediately I can remember 3 people. The first was Mr. J.C. Sheth, who was earlier joint MD, then retired as chairman of Shipping Corporation. He has taught me shipping actually, and not all politely. He was the strictest man in my life, and I love him. And nowadays, when I pray for him every day, in whichever life, wherever he is, should be happy. So, what did he teach? He taught me from how a ship looks like and why, till the chartering, depth of chartering, and going into micro details. Never do something casually. 2 very small examples I'll give. We were on 13th floor of Shipping Corporation. He walked to me from his joint MD's cabin. CK, there are some 10 questions. Please write their reply and bring it to me. I was having so much work, so I quickly completed. That time in 1983, 84 it was. No, it was 1982. There was no mobile, nothing. So I wrote by hand and quickly and went to him. He took the paper like this, quickly read it, put it upside down and told me, "Can you see that window?" And yes, sir. "Go there, face outside. I'll talk to you when I'm free." I thought, MBA करके ये हेडमास्टर की तरह खिड़की पे खड़ा करता बाबा. And after 20 minutes or so, he had meetings in between. He kept me standing outside, told, "Don't look back." And then he said, "CK, come here. Read item number 7. हम मैंने कहा, "सर गलती हो गया, मैं ठीक करके लाता हूँ." "No, give it to me. Write everything again." Oh my God, those 3 pages I had to went back and write by hand. Even today, after 82, 83, that was the time, I remember in 2024, because he was strict.
Yes. It leaves an impact.
Leaves an impact.
Permanent
impact. Then, like this, there are many examples like this. He sent me to Delhi to do a certain work in petroleum ministry. I thought it is easy. The man who was signing the papers was P. Gopal Krishnan, Under Secretary. So I went to petroleum ministry in Delhi, stood in the queue. There were 4 or 5 people. My turn came. किसको मिलने का है? That man who is writing passes. I said, P. Gopal Krishnan. And he was that rude. Side हो जा, side हो जा. मैंने कहा, भाई साहब, मैं उनसे मिलने आया हूँ, मैं शिपिंग कॉरपोरेशन का ऑफिसर हूँ. वो लाल वाले फ़ोन से 445 नंबर डायल करके उनसे बात करो. Next, he just turned me out of the queue. So I called P. Gopal Krishnan. He said, sir, he is right. I am under secretary. You cannot meet me in petroleum ministry. तो मैंने कहा फिर मैं क्या करूं, मुझे तो आपसे मिलना है. साहब आप वापस बॉम्बे जाइए, एक चिट्ठी सेक्रेटरी को लिखिए, वो ओके करेंगे और मेरे को डायरेक्ट करेंगे तो मैं फिर आपको बुलाऊंगा. मैंने कहा माई बॉस विल किल मी इफ आई गो विद दिस आंसर. आई stood outside petroleum ministry's office till 6 p.m. I had found out he gets out at 6. I had also found out where he lives. I had brought a private car knowing that government officers don't go in yellow black taxis. I stood with my car up to 6 o'clock in winter of Delhi. I had told the watchman, साहब वो गोपाल कृष्ण साहब आए तो बताना ना, आप सिर्फ हाथ उठाना. So he lifted the hand. I went to him. साहब I am C.K. Sharma. Sharma ji, I am too busy. Why did you come here? मैंने कहा साहब मैं इधर से निकल रहा था, मैंने कहा इससे पूछ लूँ तो साहब गए कि नहीं. उसने कहा यही जा रहे हैं, तो मैं रुक गया. कहाँ जा रहे हो? मैंने कहा साहब मैं उस जगह जा रहा हूँ जहाँ उनका घर था. अरे मैं भी वहीं रहता हूँ. कैसे जा रहे हो? मैंने कहा सर वो पीछे कार है, आप मेरे साथ चलेंगे, उधर जा रहे होंगे रास्ते में. हाँ मैं भी वहीं रहता हूँ. मैंने ड्राइवर को बुलाया, कार के अंदर सारा डिस्कशन कर लिया. आई हैव फेस्ड दीज desperate problems with Jesse Shet. If he had not put me to that test, I will not succeed.
Yes. Yes.
Thank you.
Great. So, closing words now.
No. You asked me people who taught you. Second
okay,
one
okay.
was P.K. Srivastav. He was a very good, probably the best officer I met in my life. He was Joint MD, then Chairman, and of SCI. And he gave me the faith which a man will give to his son. I want this to be recorded. P.K. Srivastav ji trusted me and gave me authority to fix voyages which could put him to distress. He said, no, I trust you, please go ahead. Details, this is not the forum to tell those details. किसी chartering lesson में पढ़ाऊंगा. And the third one, after I left SCI, I joined Reliance Industries Limited. Dhirubhai Ambani was the boss. He had a private group, and his team did lot of checks on me from the time I was born, and then took me in his private group. I am telling you, the 4 years I worked in Reliance, where I was a part of Dhirubhai Ambani's small private group, I learnt maximum which I did not learn in MBA. There was so much learning in Reliance. People think कि पैसा से काम होता है. नहीं, knowledge and foresight से काम होता है. This I learned there.
Very true.
That's all. Thank you.
Very true. So before we close, one quick word on what would you tell the younger generation which is looking at joining a maritime career? We'll go with Bansi first. Bansi, you tell us.
Very interesting question, but it's a very large question. Shipping career obviously means in which field of shipping you want to go into.
Yes.
It's an industry where you can earn a lot of respect, or you can lose a lot of respect depending on how you deal with your client, your principal, and how you want to progress. How you want to progress not just locally in India but internationally. I say this internationally because at the end of the day, you are not an island by yourself.
Yes, of course.
Yes, very true.
You are not an island by yourself. You have several islands to reach out to cross. It's something that you need to go in depth, not just look at a salary check. The younger generation, particularly. That should not be your goal. Your goal should be to learn, to acquire knowledge. And I must say this here, I'm grateful to Captain Kamal, Shada and Marex Media for having given me so many opportunities to come and be a speaker, to share my knowledge with the younger generation. I'm grateful for that and I'll always remember that.
Sir,
In my
advice
mind,
to the younger generation.
in my mind, the most important part for a young man to rise in life is knowledge. If he does not gather knowledge about his job which he is doing, there is nowhere to go in life. Knowledge is the key, and sometimes people forget that Google is there, knowledge is not a problem. Please remember, Google gives us information. A good guru teacher gives you knowledge. So when as a young man you are rising, please keep a person in contact who is older and experienced, more experienced than you, and make sure that he is able to guide you when you have difficulty in doing your job. There is no job on this earth which can be done without proper guidance. Not even cooking, not even making the road,
Yes.
and not even shipping.
Yes. Excellent. Excellent. Thank you so much, sir. I really appreciate your time with us and the knowledge that we have got today and the experience on this table and the guidance that we have gathered from your presence over here. We are extremely grateful, and many a youngster who is watching this will know that this is of tremendous value today and forever. Thank you so much for being with us, and viewers, keep joining us every Friday, and we will have great people like Mr. Sharma and Mr. Bansi Jaising to come and let you all know what this industry is about and how you can do well in it. Thank you and bye-bye.
Thank you, Kamal sir. Thank you for having
Thank you.
us. Thank you for having
Great
us.
honors.
Before we leave, sir, I have this little souvenir for you. This mug, which
Empty
you
mug.
empty, sir.
coffee
You
ऊपर मिलेगी.
coffee आप डाल लेना इसमें और घर जाके, and Bansi, this is for you.
Thank you so
And
much.
when you have your coffee in the morning, you will
Thank
think
you.
of us.
Thank you.
That you spent some time with us.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
My
Thank
pleasure.
You. Thank you.
Thank you again, viewers, and bye-bye.
Thank you.
Father also floated an ad, and then there was like a file made by my father that okay, A, B, C listing that was
category wise.
category one, but he was the
Preferences.
first one.
Acha,
First one.
okay.
And then
So was there a picture also there in the file?
yes,
With the uniform and everything?
No uniform.
uniform.
No uniform. His picture was sent, and then my father quietly went to Dehradun and did not give much time to his father and said that I have come for some conference and just wanted to see how these people are going to like how my daughter is going to stay there and what type of people they are.
Yes.
So paper qualification was amazing, and otherwise also my father got his inquiry done through one shippy.
Is it?
Yes. So
Background check हो गया.